History books often feel like a long list of kings, emperors, and male generals. But look a little closer, and you'll find powerful women who shaped empires, commanded armies, and left an indelible mark on the world. Today, we're uncovering the stories of the most powerful women in ancient history. Let's start in ancient Egypt, a civilization that, believe it or not, saw several women hold the ultimate power. Everyone knows Cleopatra, but long before her, there was Hatshepsut. Originally a regent for her young stepson, Hatshepsut wasn't content to rule from the shadows. She declared herself pharaoh, adopting the full royal titles and even the traditional false beard in official portraits. Her reign of over 2 decades was one of Egypt's most prosperous periods, marked by peace, incredible building projects like her stunning mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahri, and successful trade expeditions. She proved that a woman could rule just as effectively, if not more so, than any man. Then there was Nefertiti, whose name means a beautiful woman has come. And while her legendary beauty is undeniable, her power was just as significant. As the great royal wife of Pharaoh Akhenaten, she wasn't just a queen consort. Religious reforms during their reign elevated Nefertiti to a status nearly equal to the pharaoh himself. She is often depicted in art in positions of power, even smiting enemies, a role usually reserved for the pharaoh. Some historians even believe she may have ruled briefly as a pharaoh in her own right after her husband's death. Now, let's travel to the Roman Empire, a world notorious for its patriarchy. Here, women couldn't hold formal political office, but that didn't stop them from wielding immense influence. Take Livia Drusilla, the wife of the first Roman emperor, Augustus. She was his most trusted advisor for over 50 years. While Augustus held the official power, Livia was the quiet force behind the throne, managing the imperial household, influencing policy, and expertly navigating the treacherous world of Roman politics to ensure her son, Tiberius, succeeded his stepfather. She was so respected and, frankly, feared that she was deified after her death, becoming a goddess. A century later, we meet Agrippina the Younger. If Livia was the master of subtle influence, Agrippina was a master of direct, ruthless ambition. As the sister of one emperor, Caligula, the wife of another, Claudius, and the mother of a third, Nero, she was at the very center of imperial power. She persuaded Claudius to adopt her son Nero and name him as his heir, bypassing his own son. After Claudius's suspicious death, Agrippina effectively co-ruled the Roman Empire with her young son in the early years of his reign. Her face even appeared alongside Nero's on Roman coins, an unprecedented honor for a woman. Her ambition eventually became her undoing, but for a time, she was arguably the most powerful person in Rome. Let's move east, to the warrior queens who challenged the might of empires. In Britain, there was Boudica, the queen of the Iceni tribe. After the Romans flogged her and assaulted her daughters, Boudica ignited a rebellion that nearly drove the Romans out of Britain. Leading a massive army, she sacked and burned Roman strongholds, including Londinium, modern-day London. Though her rebellion was eventually crushed, her story of fierce resistance against a superpower has made her a legendary symbol of freedom and defiance. Further east, in the city of Palmyra, in modern-day Syria, ruled Zenobia. Initially a regent for her young son after her husband's assassination, Zenobia was not one to sit back. A highly educated and politically savvy ruler, she took advantage of a weakened Roman Empire to expand her own. She conquered Egypt, Anatolia, and much of the Near East, creating the Palmyrene Empire. She challenged Rome directly, styling herself as an empress and her son as emperor. For a brief, brilliant moment, Zenobia's empire was a true rival to Rome. It took the full might of Emperor Aurelian to finally defeat her, but her ambition and leadership are a testament to her incredible power. Now, let's return to Egypt, to its final and most famous queen, Cleopatra VII. More than just a beautiful seductress, as Hollywood often portrays her, Cleopatra was a brilliant and cunning political operator. She spoke multiple languages, was highly educated, and commanded armies and navies. To secure her throne and the independence of Egypt, she formed strategic alliances with 2 of Rome's most powerful men, Julius Caesar and later Mark Antony. She wasn't a pawn in their games, she was a player. She aimed to create a new Hellenistic empire with Egypt at its center. In the end, she was defeated by Octavian, But for decades, she held the fate of the Mediterranean world in her hands. Let's also not forget women whose power was intellectual and cultural. In ancient Greece, women were largely excluded from public life, but figures like Sappho of Lesbos wielded immense cultural influence. Her poetry was so revered throughout the ancient world that she was often called the 10th Muse. Plato himself named her among the wise. Her words shaped art and thought, a different kind of power, but power nonetheless. And then there's Hypatia of Alexandria. In the late Roman Empire, she was a renowned philosopher, astronomer, and mathematician. She was the head of the Neoplatonic school in Alexandria, teaching a diverse group of students from across the empire. In a world where intellectual pursuits were dominated by men, Hypatia was celebrated as a leading thinker. Her influence was so great that she became a political target, and her tragic murder marked a turning point in the intellectual life of the ancient world. From pharaohs and empresses to warrior queens and intellectual giants, these women defied the constraints of their time to lead, conquer, and inspire. They show us that power has always come in many forms, and that history is full of incredible women who were anything but footnotes. Their stories were often suppressed or twisted by later male historians, but today, we can see them for who they were, some of the most powerful and influential figures of the ancient world. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey back in time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories from history. See you next time.